load up all my stuff, and then there's a program. It's a prosthesis program. So myoelectrics, right? Work off muscle impulses. When we actually flex a muscle, there's a minute electrical current that runs across the muscle. So the electrodes pick up on that. Okay, they're very sensitive, and they're also adjustable. There's a little slot right on the back of the little electrode right here. I can turn the sensitivity up, or I can turn it down. You can hardly see it. I can hardly see it. So the idea is to, when we test the patient for myoelectrics, we want to put the electrodes over the muscles that are going to drive the hand. In this particular case, we're basically looking at a patient that would be below the elbow, right? Everybody good? I didn't know that we need to I'm kind of take it back to the beginning, okay? So when we fit a patient, we're gonna want to isolate flexors and extensors. We want to keep it as simple as we can for the patient. So in order to open a myoelectric hand, we want to use the extensor side. We want them to extend their wrist, and that opens the hand. Flex their wrist, closes the hand. Okay? Just two very simple motions. Okay? If this particular one had a wrist rotator in it, what they would do was a co-contraction. It'd make a fist that fires flexors and extensors. It tells the hand, and the hand will vibrate a little bit for the patient so they can feel it, but there's also a beat. It tells the hand to switch over to wrist. So if they do a co-contraction, then the hand beep beep, and then they can actually do, for flexors, the hand rotates inward. Extensors rotates the hand outward. So without the forearm moving, they can position the hand in the position that they want it to be in. Okay? This particular hand is an ILM Ultras by Touch Biotics, which is you guys may have heard of Oser. This is one of the big prosthetic companies in West Coast. It's not a big deal. But this particular hand has the ability to have 26 different grip patterns. So I can't even hardly imagine 26 different grip patterns. But anything that you can do with your hand, like park 3 fingers, park the thumb in order to tighten, just have the hand completely grasp something. If you can imagine, you can choose your basic 7 and then pre-program them right into the hand. You basically do it with your iPhone or now Androids. It doesn't matter. Whatever phone that you want to use, you can have all of those grip patterns in your phone. But you preload, the patient preloads 7, his or her basic 7. I mean, for the majority of us, most of us only use about 3 or 4. If we're going to use a myoelectric hand to do work. They also there's one program in there where you can actually customize a grip pattern. You can customize a grip pattern. So if it's not within the 26, and this one particular grip pattern is not within those 26, or 27, on one hand it's 27. So what would you guys imagine? Maybe a custom hand gesture or grip pattern that most people would want that would not typically be in a program. What if somebody cuts you off in traffic? What do you want to do to him or her? How about the other one? How about the other one where you flip them? So most people will program that into the hand. And nowadays, of course, they can go onto their phone. They can pretty much they can do one or two things. The easiest thing for them to do is when they bring up the phone and bring up that particular app, they'll have like the grip patterns on there, and they just simply touch it. They can touch it with this, or if they're bilateral, they can touch it with a myoelectric hand, or they just touch it whatever grip pattern they want the hand to change to. Let's say that their phone died. Okay, they've got the 7 pre-programmed in the hand. So if the phone dies, they simply extend their hand, do the open gesture until the hand fully extends, hold it for 2 seconds, it'll beep, and it'll change over to the next grip pattern. Okay? It may have started out like this, then it'll switch and it may go to this one. So you're actually receiving something or handing something to somebody. And it'll work its way systematically through the grip pattern to get you to where you want to be. That's if the phone died or your iPad died. Okay? The next thing This particular one has a mechanical wrist. So you can actually position, say his forearm is in one position, you can actually position the hand whichever way you want it. Okay? Make sense? All right. Also the thumb. The thumb is adjustable. It's adjustable by your phone. You can either make it stiff to where this is difficult, or you can make it really easy. So the patient had it in this position and wanted the thumb to be to be the other way. You can simply push it on the table or whatever, and now it's able to close this way. Okay? Make sense? So, this particular hand, the hands nowadays, this one actually has sensors in the fingertips, which actually automatically adjusts for grip. Like if this patient was to grab that ball and grip down on it, and once you grip down on it, you simply relax, and you can lift it up to drink out of that cup of coffee or whatever. If the hand detects that it's losing its grip, it automatically adjusts to it. If it's styrofoam and you bring the hand down to a certain, in order to grip it, it will not crush it. It knows, and you can adjust that by your phone, how much power you want to give to the hand. Does that make sense? How much grip force. So you can actually adjust it where it senses it that it's styrofoam, compresses it a little bit to get a hold of it. It knows if it's fixing to lose it, so it'll self-adjust. And that's how far advanced that these hands have gotten. They also have gotten to the place where it's not used very much because you're not going to be able to justify it to an insurance company, not as a civilian, but the military guys use it. It's just for kicks and giggles. But a patient can actually grab a hot cup of coffee and the whole inside of the socket will warm up, letting him know he's got to hold something hot, or it'll cool down. And the opposite. Okay, everybody knows what a socket is, right? It's the part that he puts up on his residual. We liken it to one of the easiest ways to remember is if you take a plug and plug it into a wall socket, we're plugging a residual limb into a socket. So with his, or with a blow elbow, it's going to come up above and fit around the epicondyles. So it's going to stop any rotation. So the next step on evaluating the patient is finding out if they have enough muscle control or enough muscle signal to drive the hand, to open it and close it. So typically when we're starting with the patient, we'll ramp the electrode sensitivity up, making it real easy for the patient. Not a good thing in the long run, but we want to locate those electrode sites. And if you saw his arm, the electrodes are placed inside that socket once we optimize where they should be. So they're stationary, and they've already been optimized over his muscles. So every time he puts his prosthetic on, it's going to lock into the right place. The electrodes are going to be strategically over those muscles. He uses a system with the sleeve. And of course the sleeve has to have a window cut in it, so the electrode has to be next to the skin. A lot of our unilateral patients that are below elbow, they'll actually have a pull socket and pull their limb into the socket to where it stays on mechanically, not really by suction, but everything is right next to the skin. And it's more flexible, it's got a lot more flexibility for it. So depending on the patient, the military guys, they want to use one as a hammer. You got to beef it up with some carbon. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to actually locate some electrode sites on the patient and put it through the motions. You guys ready? This is going to be my test patient. You got that? You going to do it? You way too. You a volunteer for anything. I mean, we had to make you hush up there. You had all the answers. You been studying prosthetics or something? Okay. All right, we'll actually systematically work around the table and let as many patients try it as they want to. So we want to locate extensors and flexors. Extensors are typically really easy to locate because you got very little skin coverage over top of the extensors, so they're right up next to the surface. They will overpower the flexors. So typically in the patient, we want to go ahead and isolate them, have the patient open and close. But typically, if you're trying to close the hand and without thinking about it, you're actually firing the extensors a little bit, the hand will get confused. Then it won't do anything. That can be frustrating for the patient. So then we begin to dial down the sensitivity of the electrode. So when the only time the hand opens is when the patient wants it to open. Okay, so they have to work at it a little bit more. Okay, makes sense? All right, so you're gonna hold the hand for her, right? You're gonna try to make sure you don't get pinched. Okay.
How much is this one?
This hand,
Yes,
40.
sir.
$40.
Yeah, just $40.
Yeah, 40. Wait, I'll do it.
I don't know why I asked.
Yeah. 40 bucks might buy that fingertip. No, it won't either. The fingertip's more than that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to isolate or find out where those muscles are. Have her extend her wrist. Okay, and just feel right. You can kind of see that one pop, right? Okay, now flexors, wrist down. You pretty much got it. Got it where you want your electrodes. Okay, so I'm gonna hold her arm. Place one lengthwise over. There you go. Okay, and then the other one, reach around underneath there and place that one over the flexors. Okay. All right, girl.
What do I do?
Open and close.
Oh,
Oops. Okay, let's reverse them.
It's like, wait, I thought it was so
Yeah, it's actually, that's right. So get on this process. Yeah, I'm gonna let you do it. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off for a second. Let me know when you're ready. Kind of work your muscles a little bit for me. Flexors and extensors. All right, you think you're close?
Yep.
All right. Ready? Okay, close. Atta girl. What are you doing, Mr. Hand? Okay, time out. Just thumb over here. Okay. You already got it open. There you go. Okay. Here, going. You can relax because it's all the way close. You're trying to pinch the snot out of somebody, aren't you? Because you got some activity going over your flexors. Relax. Extensions. What's wrong with you? What have you done to the finger? You broke my hand? Broke this $40,000 hand? There we go.
Fix it. Look at me.
Okay, let's do this now. Real slow. There you go, good. Nice. Okay. Position the hand with it. Again. Ready to pick something up? I'm gonna turn it off because you got that look in your eye. You're gonna pinch somebody. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay, you ready?
Wait, why did I do that?
Because you closed the hand. You did something real fast. Okay, after you get a hold of it, relax. Okay, you got a lot going on the extensor side. Nice and easy. Got him? Ah.
Oh, you got it.
Come on. What are you doing? You're killing my hand. Relax for a second. Quick. There we go. Just putting you in timeout. Yeah, release that one and then back on. There you go. All right, try extending that. What are you doing? You flunking out on this thing. Okay, now easy. Get a hold of him. Okay, now relax. Relax, relax. Are you relaxed? Yeah, I think that's the problem. You know, I mean, you're squeezing. This thing's gonna bust. Somebody's gonna get wet. Not towards that though, huh? Okay, stop, woman. Golly, dang, I don't know. You're killing this ball. Don't let her play no more. I'm turning it off.
Give it to somebody else.
Good Lord, yeah. Let's get somebody else going on. All right,
Try that thing out.
all right, so you're the practitioner. Y'all switch places. Okay, that's the problem. She don't know how to relax. Confusing the snot out of the hands. I'm gonna hurt something. Okay. Are you the practitioner? Where's my
Somebody else
practitioner?
can.
You're the practitioner. He wanted to be the subject. Didn't you?
Oh, I thought that was
You're a practitioner of the subject?
You're sitting here.
Okay, get him hooked up.
Extend real quick. So which one's flexion?
Let's find out. All right. Just rub your legs out. Okay.
This is flexion then?
I can definitely see how this could be frustrating.
Okay, hang on a second. This thumb out.
Sorry.
It's all right. Hang on a second. What are you doing? Stop! I think my hand is tired. Okay? Good, like. Let me bring this to the inside over here. There we go. I'm trying to find your sights. Lengthwise. Yeah. So we try to find, oftentimes in a traumatic amputation, the muscles change direction depending on how the surgery went. So you've got to locate the long axis of the muscle to place the electrode over it. Make sense? Ready? Stand. Flex. Nice. Flexion and extension. You do it.
A little more motor control.
So
We'd have to work with you for a while. You're like, good Lord.
is the thumbs incorporated? You don't have isolated control in the thumb, right?
You do not.
Is that something you can add to the?
Not so far.
No.
Not so far. Yeah. You pre-position your thumb. Okay. You mean it doesn't have a motor on it yet? Let me see if I can get it. See if I can get it parked in front of the index finger. Okay. Either way. See it kind of go back and forth? Yeah. That was it was confused. He's firing both muscles. So that's the key. The key is isolation. If a patient cannot isolate one, that's when we start messing with the electrodes to help them to be able to isolate it. Typically, extension is no problem. I mean, they can open the fool out of a hand. Something's wrong with my ring finger. Come on. Get there. Okay, cosmetics. Somebody else want to try? There you go.
That was pretty sweet.
Cosmetically, a lot of options. A lot of options cosmetically. Okay, this one's open. That's the extension's open. There's a glove, of course, as you see, the outside portion of his, say if she was below elbow, the outside portion from the wrist up, we can pretty much laminate anything on it. Anything imaginable, we can laminate right on it. It can be airbrushed, we can laminate over top of it. For gloves for the hand, we can go anywhere from one type of glove is just real tacky, so it picks up slippery objects better, and they're easy. You just peel them off, peel it up, and put another one right on. They're made out of silicone. Some of them have just the fingertips are tactile. Some of them are clear. Some of them are black. Some of them are brown. We also have the ability of perfectly matching all of her skin tone, including any freckles, if she had hair, veins, everything. Perfectly match this side to that side. Glove typically comes up to about right in there. If she had a sleeve down, covering that upper portion of it up, it'd be hard to tell. Yeah. Okay, you ready? All right, she got good control. Be a good candidate. Scalpel? So we can go ahead and take it off right here. Some super glue, right quick.
I think I need to keep my hand.
Why?
Water bottle.
So if you had a choice of whether or not
Try and
you're
grab
going, absolutely. I'll let you do it. I'm not sure about her anymore. Okay, the only thing you want to do is just get a hold of it and then relax and you can pick it up. Hang on a second. Thumb around.
So you said it stops I'm squeezing too hard.
Yeah, when I have it adjusted, this one's. Okay, you got it? Yeah, you got it. You want to take a sip?
Oh my god.
Okay,
You should probably drop
okay, let her go. There you go. Again? I had it off the table. You have it? You don't have it yet. A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. Let her go. All right, where's that eraser? One of those guys picked up an eraser.
There's an M&M.
M&M was, they could not manage the M&M. That worked. Yeah, that worked. M&M is too slippery. Plus, I can actually, one of the reasons why the M&M was hard to pick up is because the hand right now is, see how quickly it's moving? The patient can actually go into their phone and slow that pattern down. They can slow how quickly it opens, how quickly it closes, along with grip forces and everything else. Can you see it? Hand it to him. Oh, he's going. You're gonna have to get over here. Nice. Take it away from him. Got it? Nice. Good control. See if you can get the M&M. Nobody else can do it.
Come on, Des. You try it?
You gotta be quicker.
Hey, wait a minute. Let me get your thumb in position. Hey! Woman, somebody open this cat for me. She's gonna be wet in a minute. Put it on like the two. See if they come together pretty good. So you're doing both of them. When you make a fist, flexors and extensors fire and it goes and it gets confused. Translate. It's not so much power as it is control. There you go. Alright, talking about that. So when a patient approaches something really small, they want to actually bring their thumb up. The thumb is the opposition pose. Bring their thumb up to it. Okay. Can you see it? Very slowly bring it down. Come back here, M&M. Hold still. Not done with you. Oh man, you almost had that. Do you want to try again?
Yeah.
Ah, come here. Quit running away.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh!
It's like the claw
So
game.
close. It's like what?
Like you know the stuffed animals?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good. See if you can get him.
Try again.
Oh man, you're so close. It's just too round.
One more time.
See if you had the glove that had the real tactile, sticky fingers on it. It's just
Slippery.
one more time. I'm gonna try to position it lower.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Almost I know I did.
If you do get a hold of it, you're gonna smash it probably. I want to see you get it.
That's it right there.
That where you want it?
Yep.
All right, get it.
That's funny.
I'm trying to help you over here.
It's like playing that game in the
There.
Pick it up.
claw game.
You got it. You got it.
Oh! Charlie, the game does the same thing. Like, oh man!
I gotta put more money in.
Yeah. Give me more money. Give me more money. Very good. Anybody else want to try?
That's so fun.
That's pretty sweet.
All right.
You wanna try?
I'll give it a shot.
Who wants to be? You want to switch up? Who wants to be a practitioner?
Can you, we just want to put that on the general flexors and extensors, or can you like isolate certain spots? Like we wouldn't just kind of that, or we just kind of going for the big picture flexors?
Yeah, just it really depends on the patient too, because a lot of our traumatics. So we're gonna put the electrode in. I'm not sure if I said this or not. In down the belly of the muscle. Sometimes they may be running at a funky angle, depending on the surgery or whatever. Sometimes we can't get enough signal to do this, so we have to move to. Just open.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Sometimes we have to move to a single site, and then do different contractions for it to switch over from closed to open. Yeah. We have that ability. You're feeling pretty cocky. You want to pick this apart?
Clark, go ahead.
So it's not so much power. Okay, it's just control.
Put your whole forearm on the table. Like just focus on that. This is what you go.
Man.
The slightest of movements.
So you're actually firing both. It's going bump, 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 bump.
Yeah.
You got action going on both sides. Try to isolate. Just nice and easy. Don't even make a fist. Just wrist. Still got something going on, doesn't it? Over here. Try moving that one a little bit. See if we can isolate it a little bit better. This one looks like it maybe need to go just a little bit. And also, you've got another thing that we may be working with. He may be a very short BE where we got to come up the arm. Yeah, you're firing both of them at the same time. You're as bad as her.
Glad I'm not the only one.
You're in control.
No self-control.
It's okay. Me and Clark just need to keep our hands. Otherwise,
Yeah.
harness it
Just
is.
chop it up.
Guillotine.
Body powered.
Yeah.
It's body power for you.
Yeah.
You suck. You can't use mileage. Okay, you want to try the M&M?
The M&M.
Can you see it?
Straight to the M&M.
Go straight to it. I got confidence in you. You can do it.
He's gonna crush it.
Oh, get that.
Just
Slow down there, speed demon. Speed racer.
what's the max force you can set it to?
130 pounds. That's
What-
something you definitely don't want to do with a child.
What would that crush?
A Pepsi bottle. 68 pounds would typically crush a Pepsi bottle. The Greifers, which is that working thing that doesn't even look like a hand.
Oh, that you got it, Clark. That's
Oh yeah.
Pull the trigger.
I got it.
You good? You got it. I got it, man. I'm good.
You play with that.
It's like just a little bit.
No, you can hold it.
Man.
Where's that bottle go? Pour this water.